Hi, my name is Sally Wood for Be Inspired, and recently I was asked if I could remake some seat cushions. These have been on somebody's sofa since 2011 and they are misshapen, scrunched down and very thin here, and there's actually a spring that's kind of showing through. If I push down you might see the lump there. So I am going to show you how to construct some seat cushions. Now with their wear and tear they've kind of become a little bit misshapen. The first thing I did was I measured front to back. It came to 25.5 inches, so I actually made it 26. The width, again, I've measured from side to side. Just inside the seam is where you take it. You don't take it from the edge of the piping, and that came to 22.5, so I actually made that 23, just a little bit bigger. And then the height, which was 5 inches, but I actually did it at 6. That's because sometimes on the side border there'll be areas wider and narrower. I prefer to laminate my seat cushions. This is a soft, very soft foam. It's quite pliable. It's the softest one they do, and I've got that cut at 1.5 inches deep by the 22 and the 26. And then this is the interior. It's a much firmer foam. It's the high density, so I have to push down really hard to make that move so that the spray glue doesn't get everywhere. I hold that at one end like that, and I'm just going to spray in like that. Carefully place that down so that all the edges are in line. Before it's stuck down too quickly, you can pick it up and move it slightly. Just make sure that that's nice and even. The glue goes quite tacky quite quickly, and then I'm going to repeat. Place that on top. Make it as smooth as you can on all edges. As you can see, all the edges are nice and even. The glue I've used is a multi-purpose adhesive by 3M, but you can use any multi-purpose adhesive. It says bonds foils, plastic, paper, metal, cardboard, low mist formula. I've had some that you spray it and I've ended up with glue on the table, glue up my arms. So you want something that's a low mist. Now, having laminated the seat cushion interior, I need to wrap it with this Dacron. This is a 60-inch Dacron, which is perfect for the width. I can get two side by side on here, and all I'm going to do is, like I do on the fabrics, just cut down the fold like this. Once you've got so far, fold the top piece back, fold the top a little bit over the back of the seat cushion, pick the seat cushion up and just roll it on over. This is the piece that I've just cut off and will be using on another item. And then again, I'm just going to carry on cutting down the fold here, as you can see. Just pulling it away as I go. Ease all of that into place. It doesn't have to be perfect to start off with. I'm just going to cut along this front border to about 2/3 of the way down, just all the way across. The bottom and the top should cross over, so that's just what I need it to look like. Just sure that the seat cushion is evenly placed in the Dacron, that the sides come and join on that side, and they join on the other side, and they cross over slightly at the back. Now the first thing I do is I cut into the corner like this, top and bottom, like that. And I'm going to fold that under, just so it's nice, gives a nice smooth side there. The next thing I'm going to do is measure off 3 lengths of the cushion. This should mean that I only need to have 2 whole lengths of cotton, and this is actually upholstery thread. Put a knot in your thread, pull that over and that down. Not too snug, but just snug enough. If you pull it too tight, then you start misshaping the cushion. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to start off on this corner with a couple of over stitches, just to hold it in place like that, and pull the thread tight. Then all I'm going to do is fold it up against each other and do like an overstitch, just down, up and through. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be close enough that it holds everything together, pulled tight enough so it doesn't come apart, and just carry on all the way along. Takes a little bit of time, but a good cushion is worth doing well. And I've been doing cushions like this for a very long time, and I've never had anybody complain, but I have had people who've had new cushions made who have complained to me about how awful they are. So sometimes the traditional methods are the best methods. You could glue this dacron in place. Now, years ago I was told to do it this way, and then to make an extra cover in curtain lining or calico, just to match the outside. But since moving to the US, I have stopped doing that. It's like people don't expect you to do a really great job over here. In the UK they expect things to be done, or at least they used to expect things to be done in a certain manner. And in fact, I remember one lady when I was really young, I must have been about 26. I went to her house to measure up for a slipcover, and she said, "Oh, I don't think your prices reflect the quality that I am expecting." And I said, "That's okay. If you don't mind me asking, who did you get to do the cover?" And she said the name of a company, and I said, "Oh, okay, I'll see you soon then." Now imagine her surprise when I turned up to do the slipcover, and she'd already told me that my work wouldn't come up to her standard. And I did the cover, and she then informed the owner of the shop that she was charging too much. It's like, you could have had it done cheaper if you'd taken a risk on me, but I work for other companies. I don't take their customers, never have. And even now I work for another company. I don't so much do my own work. I work for somebody else. I'm just lucky enough to be able to do this work at home. Okay, so we work to the end of the cushion. I always put the flat end, the smooth end, on the front side of the cushion, and I sew up either sides and along the back so it's nice and smooth. So as we did on the front, I'm just going to cut in to the corner at the top and again at the bottom, and I'm going to fold these two over the back. I'm going to fold the top down, and I'm going to fold the bottom up. Now the bottom kind of crosses over a little bit, and that's fine. I tend to do that because it kind of pushes everything into place. I'm going to just catch stitch it along the side here, just 2 or 3 stitches till I get to the top of that fold. Just hold it all in place. And again, I'm going to hold that down and push that up, but not tight. Do not do it so it's really tight. I'm still on my original thread that was 3 times the length of the cushion, so I should get almost to the middle of the back without having to change my thread. If you overstitch it, it just keeps everything in place. You could do a running stitch, and if you did a running stitch, the top would just always bulk out, whereas this, it's quite smooth. And you only need to do 4 or 5 stitches before you pull it. Don't go much more than that. The friction won't let it pull through. Do not use quilting thread. There's something about this dacron and quilting thread that just rips quilting thread to pieces. I've just gone past the centre of the back, so I'm just going to put some stitches in place like that so it doesn't untangle. I'm going to put that through like that to the back, and then through like that, and trim it back. Flip the cushion over and do exactly the same again. Cut into that top corner like that, cut into the bottom corner like that, fold it over, measure off my 3 lengths, front across, top down, bottom up, as I did before, a few stitches just along the front corner here. Push that up and sew across 3 or 4 stitches each section and pull. There'll be other cushions that I show you how to do later in the series that I put on, you know, shaped cushions and things. I just have a basic rectangular one on this case. Having sewed all the way from the front to back again, cut in at the top, cut in at the bottom. As before, tuck this right in at the back, top and bottom, like that. Now, this time we're going to fold this one up and that one down and into place, like that. Over stitch, just up to there and then back down. And now I'm going to just quickly whip stitch this into place. Some foam companies will just cut it and send the foam to you. I've found that going to a foam store is a lot cheaper than going to retailers. And not only that, they don't have the choices. They usually only have 2 choices of foam at outrageous prices. So there's a bit of a tail and then cut it back. Perfect. Now I've got 4 more to do. Let's take the cover off, peel it back, top and bottom. I'm just going to take it off so it's inside out when it comes off. That's not a problem. Now it looks like somebody was trying to even the original seat cushion out. That's why this is on here. So it's got all of this here. And these are actually sprung. I don't know whether you can see, but there's a compartment in here with the springs in, and over time they've just come unstuck from each other. This one's coming out at this angle and the others are going up, which is a shame. I mean, it was a good quality cushion when it was made, but obviously a well-loved sofa that it's been on. Now I'm going to put the original cover back on, and sometimes I'll put my hand there and I'll fold it in half, which is okay. It works quite well. But in this case, I'm going to just pop that in by a couple of inches like that. So here's my front border. I'm going to pop this corner here onto this corner here. So it's only about 3 or 4 inches over. And then I'm going to flip it, and here's the other corner I want it to go into. I'm going to push that down slightly because it is a little bit bigger than the cushion cover, and pop that in. Oops, it got caught up there. And I'm just going to roll it back into place. The cushion's only a little bit bigger than the original cushion cover, so you should, see if I can pull that off, roll on quite easily. Just kind of keep it square on like that, and then flip sides. This doesn't put too much pressure on the zip because the zip isn't having to be pulled out of shape. And as I say, just work carefully to the end. When you've got the cover on, just pop that down to the back or towards the back, and then with your hand just push the fabric down like that and up, and you can see there's a wrinkle. As that goes to the back, it pulls over the back, and do it in 2 or 3 places like that. On one side, pull it tightly to the back of the cushion. Sometimes these cushions are a real workout. It's better than going to the gym. And the same on this side. Just push the cushion down and push the fabric towards the back. And I'm going to pop it on its end. And where the zip is, I'm just going to push the dacron and everything into place. Push that back and then pull the zip outwards. If you just run the zip along the dacron, it is likely to get caught up and then you've got a horrible mess. Push it down, pull it up, and then you're not stressing the zip. And there you have your new seat cushion. I think the people will be quite pleased with that. Thank you for joining me today. I realise this is a short little video, but a very useful video, I think. Lots of people have seat cushions at home that they would like to redo. Just remember that when you get new foam, it never feels exactly the same as the foam you had originally in your chairs, and it saves a lot of money if you can do it yourself. So hopefully you've learnt something from me, a little bit of the trick of the trade. As I said, years ago I used to make a lining before I used to put these covers on top, and it makes it a lot easier to put the covers on, especially if they've got fire retardancy on them. But anyway, thank you for joining me today. Please remember to subscribe and hit the bell button if you want to see more from me, and a few thumbs up would be a great thing too. Take care, see you later. Ciao.